Hi, my name's No Shed, some guys know me as Shubham. Spurs Video Podcast. Wow, it's finally over. Or is it? They think it's all over. Well, we'll find out. Chelsea Bayern Munich. It's one of those worst games, is it? We're powerless and we are relying on a favour from another team. I suppose the one thing that goes in our favour, I guess, is that favour tends to benefit Bayern Munich just as much as it benefits us. So, and I'm hoping that Manuel Neuer doesn't have so much of a howler as Martin Fulop did. Stags me how he's an ex-Spurs goalkeeper. I don't think I can't remember even play for us, but my lord. He had such a great game for City against us. And sometimes I feel like the universe is against us, but to be totally fair, we are artists of our own inability to get third. We were 10 points clear, and not only did we lose the 10 points gap we had, Arsenal recovered. And that's basically what it was. And if this was Newsnight, John, whatever his name, Swingometer, it would have been gone all the way. I can take heart from the fact that I've met a whole bunch of really incredible people this year by doing these YouTubes. I'll give you some guys. Sorry if I don't know all of my subscribers. I'm really sorry. But Kev, Eggsy, who I met today, check out the first YouShubes video we did together. I mean, technically, the first YouTubes was me and Kev G, on Skype. But the second one, definitely the actual live one, definitely me and Kev today at Rudolph's pub. And if any of you guys have been to Rudolph's pub/club, it's all I can say is this, right? If you're watching any episodes of Only Fools and Horses and they have a disco scene, especially like when Rodney meets Cassandra for the first time, they say in disco, that is what Rudolph's looks like. Honestly, I swear to God. In terms of what we need to do, apart from praying that Bayern Munich, don't fuck up home advantage, not much we can do. It's one of those things that you have to be patient and just be hope and wait. In terms of today's game, Sandra is magnificent. Brad Friedel showing why men consider him player of the year. I still went for Benny. I thought he was superb. There are moments, obviously people will blame Harry, that whole England thing did really fuck up our season. The FA will obviously never admit it, but that did fuck up our season superbly. The indecision, because I'm sure it did. Questions are fragile, but do you know what? I said to a lot of the guys, I said, you know what? Let's just go out and win today. And whatever happens outside happens. Let's do our job today. And look, this has been an incredible season. It shows that you don't have to have God knows gazillions of pounds of money, because Pardew, didn't have a huge amount of money. Alright, from the Andy Carroll, he had sold on his best players. But guess what? He invested it wisely, and he bought players that wanted to be at the club, and have done a good job for the club. That's something we can take credit from. If players like Luca or Gareth Bale decide, fuck it, we want to move on. Speaking of players that want to move on, you saw Van Persie's interview. He didn't say yes, I'm staying. I think me personally, if someone like Man City came in with all their billions, and you've got Man City, you've got Real Madrid, you've got Barcelona, who can offer a shitload of money, you wouldn't be surprised if he went there. He would fit in superbly into their system. Let's face it. And I think hopefully he'll decide to go there. He won't. 1 year contract. Who knows? He could change his mind. Obviously we all know Henry didn't stay with Arsenal and then decided a year later to fuck off. But that's just my take on it. Sandro, the little dancing of Adebayor, I don't know, I'm hoping Adebayor stays. He scored 18 goals, 4th highest scorer, I think, after Van Persie, Aguero, Rooney. So and I think that shows something. There's a reason why City paid 25 million for him and paid him all that cash. He can score goals and he gets assists, and he's been such an important fulcrum to our play. I think he needs a better foil. Look, JD, he scored a goal, and I'll be very pleased with that. But you know what? Tell me what else JD did for the rest of the game that you think, do you know what? Oh, that's the reason why we bought him. I just didn't see that. At this level, I just don't see he'll be the player that we need. The player that fits our system, that can take us on to the next level. But I'd like to thank all of you guys. I met some old Spurs mates, and hopefully met some new Spurs mates. That's Eggsy's mates from Stafford, so I hope you subscribe to my YouTube show. And that Kevin G, thanks for introducing me to Omegle, which I've not used at all since, I don't know, about for months. And it's just thank you. It's been a real pleasure being able to speak to you guys. Been a real pleasure to be able to share my thoughts and views, and just a real pleasure to speak. And just, you know, let's face it, it's never a displeasure for me to speak. Ask my guys that I've trained with Bloodline Fights, www.ekbjj.com. And also, please support my mate Angela Cariani. I can't pronounce the last name. It's Greek. I'm sorry, but she's jumping out of a plane, you know, with a parachute for cancer research. So if you can help support, that would be fantastic. But yeah, it's just been a really, and another guy from the Spurs Forum. He's doing a bike ride, and this guy had a slip disc, so he's doing like some 50-mile bike ride. I mean, dude, that's just fucking torturous, especially with a slip disc as well. So yeah, please sponsor him, and I'll post the links up on the info stats. I would like to thank YouTube for always fucking up and never monetizing my YouTube videos. I don't know why the fuck they don't. I've contacted YouTube, or maybe I should just ring Google and say, look, can I speak to someone in customer services, because I'm not glad your customer services is really poor. You say you sort things out that you never do. But I'd like to thank YouTube for allowing me to have a voice, and sharing my thoughts with you guys about Spurs. You know, it was nice. Apparently there were Martin cheers. Look, give respect to the big man. I don't think Juan de Ramos will ever have any big cheers. And who was not happy when Juan de Ramos lost to Martin Jol? Martin Jol's Fulham. Who wasn't having a little bit of a smile? Not to Hannah. He did the best he could, but he just never fitted in, and he just never seemed to work out really well for us. Obviously Harry Redknapp, the England thing, it's being dusted. Let's just move on with it. Hopefully Bayern Munich will do themselves a big favour and inadvertently do us a favour. I don't think they will even care, to be totally honest, but I think they're really motivated. Then I think, because they won the Champions League is an amazing thing, and I honestly do think they could have beaten Barcelona. I think they are such a strong side, and in Muller and Kroos, and Dave Gomez, who's just scoring for fun. It'll be interesting because obviously Luis and Terry suspended. Luis and Cahill are both struggling with injuries. I think it will be very difficult for Chelsea to win this game, but you never know. But let's keep our fingers crossed. I'd like to give a big thanks and shouts to everyone's, Triple KL, Harvey Dino, Major Hank, who's been fantastic with his comments and feedback. Original YT name, Super Spurs. Apparently Kino Girls is adding me on Twitter. I'll post my Twitter up as well. But yeah, just like to thank you, so many of you guys. Much as it is, it's enjoyable for me to do this. It's nice to always get the feedback, and good or bad, it's just nice to know that you enjoyed it. Some of you guys did enjoy it, and for 100 haters, 1 liker makes it all worth it. Honestly, it's been a long season, and it's I must admit it's a bit of an emotional thing. Obviously, Man United losing at the last 2 minutes of the game. I just like you've got to understand the irony that basically Man City won the last 5 minutes of injury time was added, and that's how Man City won. You've got to admit that is kind of funny. And then United, so all my Liverpool fans, support, Liverpool mates, mates who support Liverpool, they're obviously pretty chuffed about it. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, I'm gonna probably go into part 2. So my shout outs, I'm going to end it just there, but wait for part 2.